Hello and welcome to this episode of Tax Reform News, brought to you by taxreformnews.com. Since it looks like it's inevitable that tax reform will be passing any day now, it begs the question, what should you do? We know that the legislation will pass, but what can you do now to take advantage of tax reform before it becomes law? Because there's things that you can do to maximize your tax position. And it's not only up to the rich people to do this, even your average Joes can do this. But before you consider any of this, make sure to consult a professional. This is not tax advice. These are just recommendations that many wealthy people will be implementing these plans. So that's why we're bringing these up. All of these plans are things you can consider to help reduce your tax bill and prevent a higher tax rate for yourself. So tip number one. Tip number one will be to defer income. So any income that you would receive in this year, which is 2017, you'll want to try to defer that into 2018. And things that you might think of here are things like bonuses. To the extent you can delay a bonus to next year, that will be advantageous. And the reason that will be advantageous is because in 2017, your tax rate will likely be higher than it is in 2018. So if you can move income into a year where your tax rate will be lower, that's more advantageous to you. And the next tip is along these same lines. Tip number two is to accelerate your deductions into 2017. And the reason you'll want to accelerate your deductions into 2017 is because 2017 is going to have a higher tax rate than 2018. And because of this, you're going to save more money in 2017 if you use that deduction against a higher rate. Okay, and tip number three. Tip number three is to pay your property taxes and sales taxes in advance if you can. And the reason you want to do this is because the amount of property tax that you can deduct is going to be limited to $10,000. And this isn't just property tax, this is state taxes as well. So if you could pay state taxes and property taxes in advance in 2017, that would be a good idea. And this is especially true if your property taxes and state taxes combined are over $10,000. So those are the three tips that you can implement in 2017 to help you reduce your tax bill in 2018. I want to remind you again to consult your tax professional before implementing these ideas, but these are the things that you should be talking to your tax professional about. You shouldn't try and implement these yourselves, but these are tips to help you get the conversation started. If you want to hear more tax reform news and tax reform updates, then make sure to subscribe.